Welcome everybody. It's another show for you. January 13th, 2021. The college season has passed us by. Alabama has won the national title. One year after missing the whole thing. They missed the whole playoff 1 year ago. They come back as they watched LSU, supposedly the greatest offense of all time. And now Alabama now says, wait a minute, it's our turn, but football's not over yet. We got the NFL coming at you. We've been picking great 11-7 the last 3 weeks. We got you covered. Welcome to the Father, Son, and Holy Sports Weekly Podcast. I'm G-Man. That's T-Money.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Coming to you live back in the Cloffice in SF here.
Yeah.
It's looking chilly back in Ohio, G-Man. I'm out here in T-shirts, sunny 65 here. You know, I'm not missing it that much. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm representing all you people up there in Green Bay. I know you're loving your football, and it's 18 degrees here in Ohio. So G-Man's ready to go for some football this weekend. We got a double header Saturday and Sunday, T-Money.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great weekend of football. I'm excited to see how everything pans out. It's going to be great. Playoff football. Nothing better than this.
What do you think? What's going on in your world, man? What's up in T-Money? What in the world?
I mean, the first thing, like you said, what we got to talk about, that national championship game, I mean, it was a complete throttling. Alabama just took apart Ohio State. It looked like they were outmanned, outcoached. I mean, they just didn't look like they came to play. I mean, it was a throttling.
Well, I mean, the Buckeyes went up against one of the greatest offenses of all time.
Yep.
Who has the better offense? It'll be debated forever.
Yes,
was it Joe Burrow's offense or Mac Jones' offense? Which one was the greatest one of all time in college football? It's going to be debated.
Crazy.
But that's the offense that the Buckeyes went up against.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. But I think the biggest thing is they couldn't decide on what they wanted to do defensively. All year they've played, let's keep it in front of us, let our front four get pressure, and you can't do that against Alabama's offensive line. They're too good, they're too big, and you're giving Mac Jones all the time in the world just to sit in that pocket and shred you. I mean, you were putting a linebacker on Devontae Smith, the best player in the country. What the heck are you thinking?
Hey.
These schemes that they were playing were just horrible.
That was a mistake. That was definitely a mistake. People make mistakes. You know, I think Sermon coming out there right in that first series hurt us. I think we planned to run the ball a lot more. And with Sermon, we would have been effective with Sermon. But without Sermon, you know, all those runs, we needed to open it up and pass it a lot more without Sermon in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think you guys would have a shot with Sermon. I thought it would be closer with him because you could have slowed him down. But you guys, I mean, their first punt was with a second left in the half or something like that. I mean, they were not being stopped. It was the defense that lost you that game. I don't think Sermon was going to make much of a difference. I mean, Smith, just the stat line is insane. This guy goes for over 200 yards, 12 receptions, and 3 touchdowns. That's the first half. This guy won Offensive Player of the Game by playing one half. You know he's the best player on the field, and he is running wide open. I mean, you lost the game in the first half right there.
Well, they have 3 players on their offense that are top 5 in the Heisman. They got 7 touchdowns, and they beat us in time of possession. They were controlling the ball. It wasn't all just big plays.
I know, but you guys were 3 and out. It was a lot. I mean, I guess you guys would have helped having a little bit better of a running game, but Master Teague started the year the starter at running back over Sermon. So it's not like he was bad and Sermon just was hurt or something. He had the starting. He's a good running back. So I think
Sermon's a little above average. Master Teague's a little above average. Sermon is excellent.
Yeah.
And we needed him. Him. But, hey, man, I shout out to my Buckeyes. I love you.
Yeah.
I love Alabama, too. All you Crimson Tide fans, I got you, man. I got you. We will be back. You guys did a great job, Alabama.
Yeah.
We're a countrywide podcast. We love you guys, Alabama, but you're going down next year, man. We're coming after you.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of another Ohio team that had a much better weekend than Ohio State did, how about the Browns? Yeah. Finally getting to the playoffs, and not only to the playoffs, but getting a win, and not only getting a win, but getting over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now that has to feel phenomenal. First playoff win in 50 years. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Hey, Steelers, where did they come from 11-0 and where they ended up? It's just an amazing
It's
story of
crazy.
what happened to them. They led the NFL in sacks and they couldn't even get to Baker. They
No.
could not touch the guy. And they led the NFL in sacks. They
Yeah.
gave up 48 points, the most ever in a playoff game.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the funny part about that, you say they weren't even getting pressure on him. Baker said they had so many linemen out with COVID that he actually shook the hand and had to introduce himself to a guy that they got off the street that week. I think his last name was Dunn. In the locker room, he got introduced to this guy, and the guy played significant minutes and didn't allow a single pressure. I mean, that is like insane saying that out loud versus the Pittsburgh defense. Big Ben looked horrible. He threw for 500 yards, which was great, but it's because they had to come back from such a large deficit. All they could do was throw, and he threw 4 picks. I mean, he lost them the game. It's going to be interesting to see if Big Ben's even back after this. I know the Steeler Nation probably doesn't want him back.
He'll be back. He'll be back. He's got one more year in his contract. He'll finish that up.
Yeah, only 19 mil though. He's made over 200 million. Does he really need another 19 million to come back and be a 500 team? I don't see them making the playoffs. They have zero cap space and only 34 people on their roster under contract next year. So they're going to lose a lot of people. It's going to be very interesting. But hey, next longest drought now since the Browns won. The Bengals, 30 years now. So we're coming.
I could see Ben staying, maybe grooming someone that they have for the following year, but he's not going to be out. That guy's coming back. He's not going to be happy with this. He wanted to go out on a high. Ben's coming back. He may groom someone that they bring in. That would be the best thing to do.
Only thing he needs to groom is that frickin' beard of his, okay? That's all he needs to groom. And I don't think he's going to like grooming a quarterback. He was pissed when they drafted Mason Rudolph in the 3rd round. So he groomed someone. I don't think so. But speaking of the same division.
Yeah, what else you got?
Lamar Jackson got his first playoff win. A lot of critics were coming at this kid. And let this be known. This guy just turned 24 last week. Just turned 24. This guy was 23 years old, and people were knocking him because he had 2 playoff losses. Peyton Manning lost his first 3. I think Joe Montana lost his first 2. I mean, a lot of these big-time guys lose their first games because they're just rookies. They're inexperienced. And he was 23 and getting ridiculed for carrying a team to the playoffs after they benched Joe Flacco, and then winning the MVP and losing to Derrick Henry rushing all over his defense. And now he's 24, finally gets that playoff win. I'm happy for him. Get that monkey off your back, but I was sick and tired of all the disrespect people were giving him for not winning.
I am too. He's such an honest guy. He just puts his heart out there. He's such a great guy. And, he deserves all that he gets. The guy's such a great guy. I don't feel sorry for these guys when they're under pressure. They make so much money. Yeah. And, they feel the pressure. I haven't been a CEO. I feel pressure. CEOs do the same thing. They make a lot of money and they're under pressure. These guys make a lot of money. They're under pressure.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he's doing fine. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
He probably loves the pressure.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Loves the pressure.
The greats do, Gary. The greats love the pressure, and he performed under it. He ran all over them.
He ran for 136. He passed for 179, which is okay.
But that's what he needed to do. He controlled the ball. He had a deflected pick, so that's okay. But he was fine. And
it was really their defense that did it.
I was just about to say.
13 points against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry gets 40 yards. I mean, their defense is showing up like they did in prior years.
Yeah, this team is peaking at the right time. They didn't have Calais Campbell and another defensive lineman when they played the Titans the first time, and boy, did they show up. Man, to keep that monster under 50 yards. I mean, that is unbelievable. They made a statement there. And then to go and stomp all over that logo after Tennessee did it to them in the regular season. So that's why there was no handshakes. There was logo stomping. A lot of bad blood between these two teams. But
Yeah.
that Ravens defense is what really made the game. Lamar looked comfortable and did what he needed to do to win, but that defense came to play.
Riding the defense like the Ravens always have done, riding that D, and here they go. They're on a roll. John Harbaugh said, this may be the best win I've ever been associated with. That's pretty
Wow.
amazing
That's saying a
for
lot.
John Harbaugh after all that he's done.
Yeah, that's very impressive. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl, so that's got to be a big, nod to Lamar. So, well, now that we've gotten past this, we'll take this time to go to our paid programming documentary of the two oldest quarterbacks to ever meet in the playoffs, 43-year-old Tom Brady and 41-year-old Drew Brees. They ended up tweeting this picture at each other after it went viral. I think it's hilarious. Drew Brees' dad haircut right there is just killing me. So it's going to be great. The third time these guys meet this upcoming week. Tampa Bay was blown out both times, and one time was just a slaughter. So it's going to be super interesting going forward here. But this is an iconic matchup between these two and Father Time.
Well, we told you there was a doubleheader both nights, both Saturday and Sunday. They're both kind of the 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock kind of games. So you can get your, chores done early on Saturday, all you fans out there. And then you can watch the games. Both days they're 4 and 8 o'clock kind of time frames, roughly. And so this is the last game right here, this game. 6:40 Sunday night, almost 7 o'clock Sunday night. We got these two old guys going at it.
Yep, it's going to be a great game. I think Tampa Bay is peaking at the right time. They had bumps in the road. They got, like I said, crushed by Saints earlier in the year, but that defense is clicking. Tom Brady looks good after the bye. I don't think it's going to be a throttling, but the Saints come in with a very complete roster. They didn't look too great against the Bears, but they have a good defense, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this game unfolds. Big legacy games for both of these guys, big time, especially Drew Brees.
Well, speaking of your legacy game, hey, man, we got to talk about the Wound-Wise Trivia of the Week, because we're going to feed right into what you're just talking about there. Wound-Wise Trivia of the Week, sponsored by Wound-Wise IQ. It's a patented mobile imaging and analytics software application that's used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic wounds. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. And the trivia of the week for Team Monday to think about is, which quarterback remaining in the playoffs is second behind TB12? I mean, you just showed a picture of Brees and TB right there. Is it Brees? Which quarterback is second behind TB12 in number of NFL playoff wins? And where do they both rank all time against all the quarterback greats? It's going to be a fun discussion and fun list to look at to see who is ranked up there. You got some ideas, Team Money? Don't tell me your answer.
Yes, I have it narrowed down. I'm not 100%. Not 100%. I do know the second question I am sure about, but yes, I know. I think I know.
You're sure about the second question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, some mic malfunction here, just falling over. But don't worry, everybody.
The Clophus is looking good. Team Money got his Cali T-shirt on. G Money bundled up for the Green Bay game. I'm getting ready for Tundra up here in Ohio.
Yeah,
and we're ready to take this to you, everybody. Let's move on to our picks of the week. This is what you want. We're killing the picks.
Man. We're doing
11-7 the last 3 weeks against the spread. Come on, y'all. I mean, you can't find this anywhere.
Come on.
This is G-Man and Team Money making some picks.
Big time.
We're going to start off. Unfortunately, we're going to be disagreeing, so I don't know what you're going to do out there, my fans.
You probably go with me, but we'll let it.
We'll see. That's good. Well, hey, I'm going to start off picking Green Bay. You can see my locks up there at the top left. We've got the Rams at Green Bay -7. This game is Saturday at 4:35. It's on Fox. Packers -7. Over-under is only 46.5. But hey, Packers are 4-2 straight up and against the spread at Lambeau Field in the postseason since Rodgers took over. I like that 4-2 line. I like Rodgers in control here. And did you know that Aaron Rodgers covers the spread T money 61% of the time in the postseason? I mean,
Okay,
this guy
very
comes through in the
interesting.
postseason, my
He
man.
does.
And let's also talk about one other factor I want to share with you: the
Okay.
cold weather. Okay, the low on Saturday is going to 18 degrees in Green Bay. 18
Whoa.
degrees.
It's gonna be
Goff, as you
rough.
know, Jared Goff's a California boy.
Yeah.
You know, went
He
to
ain't ready for this.
UC.
He ain't ready.
You know that he's 0-2 against the spread when it's below 32 degrees?
Huh. I didn't know that.
And you know what it feels like when you got like a sprained ankle or sprained thumb, something's kind of hurting and
Aches
it
a
gets
little bit
cold.
more. Whew.
I don't know about that thumb on Jared Goff. Watch out,
Yeah.
man. I'm going with the Packers on this one.
Okay. Well, I won't talk too much about this. That'll be an interesting one. I'll talk about it in a couple minutes here. But my first lock of the week, almost my dog lock, but I had a bigger one. I think Baltimore can easily win this game. I would pick them straight up, actually, to beat Buffalo. I think, like I said earlier, they're clicking at the right time. Lamar's playing well. I think Buffalo was going to give that game away to the Colts if they could close out. The Colts should have won that game. It looked like they got outplayed other than the quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers does Phillip Rivers things and just isn't good. So he's not playing anymore. But I think Buffalo can't sustain 2 weeks in a row of the roller coaster that is Josh Allen. He looks incredible, and then he makes fumbles at ends of games that he's trying to give the game away to Indianapolis. So I think the Ravens win this one. It might be convincing in my mind. I just think Baltimore is clicking at the right time, and Josh Allen's too inconsistent.
Yeah, well, that's a big pick. And of course, I got it over there on my dog lock. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. I'm going to the over under lock under G Man, the Tampa Bay New Orleans game. I'm going over 51. It dropped from 51 and a half to 50. And why did it 51? Why did it drop from 51 and a half to 51? Okay. So I think this thing's opening up. Where's the money going? Think about what has happened here when you look at this matchup, these old guys that you showed. Okay, this is a crazy thing that Tom Brady leaves the AFC, comes over to the NFC, ends up in the same division, the NFC South, as Drew Brees.
Crazy.
Two Hall of Famers right there in the same division.
Yep.
New Orleans ends up 12-4. Brady ends up 11-5. Tampa Bay, here they are going at it, and now they're meeting in the playoffs. This is freaking epic, man.
Yeah,
This is epic.
Is.
This is their third meeting this year. They're meeting in the playoffs now, like they haven't had enough of each other. This is what we're going to see with these two guys.
Yeah.
In the same division, this is their third matchup. In the seventh career matchup between the head coaches, though, let's look at head coaches. Sean Payton and Bruce Arians, the overs 5-2. Those two coaches. Plus, we got these two quarterbacks that know each other. You know they're not afraid to open it up.
Yeah.
The first meeting went over. The second meeting went under, but it went under because Brady only scored 3 points, and that's not going to happen, bro.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. They're getting more than 3 points. I'm going on the over 51, the Dan Wren special, over under lock.
Yep. I think it's going to be a shootout as well, but I don't know if Tampa Bay can win this one. It's going to be super interesting. The Saints just have Tampa Bay's number. They sat Hendricks last week because he was hurt, just to rest him for this game because he was a monster last time they played Brady. I think they get all the pressure in the world on him. I do think it goes over, but I think the Saints run away with it. My other lock I'm going to go with here, I'm taking Kansas City in the points versus Cleveland. I love Cleveland, man. I'm so happy for them, and I hope they win this game. I'm going to root for Cleveland to win this game because I'm an Ohio guy, but I just don't think the Browns can stop this offense. They could barely stop Big Ben. That guy was putting up points. He put up 500 yards, and it looked pretty casually. You're not getting 5 turnovers out of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just not happening. You might get a pick, and that's great. And if there was one pick in that Cleveland game, do the Steelers win? That's a close game. I don't know. So I'm going to take Kansas City. I just don't think that they're going to be able to stop. Cleveland's going to be able to stop them. And I think Kansas City's defense is underrated. They're rested. Everyone's ready to rock and roll. They've been hearing how now they're not favored. The Packers are better and the Saints are better and all these teams. They're going to come out ready to fire off. I think that they're going to actually blow them out here, unfortunately. But hey, go Browns. I'm still rooting for you.
I stayed away from that game. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. What are they going to bring?
Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, they bring what they brought last week. It's going to be a game. But are they going to bring that team? Or are they satisfied where they're at right now? I hope it's a game. I hope it's a game.
Me too.
We're going to have some fun with this game, this Cleveland-Kansas City game in a minute. T-Money and I are going to pick a daily fantasy lineup for y'all, and we're going to pick that game, the Cleveland-Kansas City game.
Let's do it.
And you all can see us do a showdown captain mode on daily fantasy. You're saying, what's that? That's what T-Money and I are here for.
Oh, yeah.
To show you the way, man. Hey,
your guides, your
let's
fantasy
go to the
guide.
dog lock. Let's go to the dog lock. I'm going to what T-Money already talked about. The Ravens getting that 2.5. I mean, are we all jumping on the Ravens grand train here? I don't know. I looked at some of the stats. I mean, some of the stats I like. Road underdogs, okay, which is what Baltimore is. They're going up to Buffalo Saturday night, 8:15 p.m. Saturday night game up in Buffalo.
Yep.
The road dog of 3 points or less are 24-12 since 2004 in the playoffs. Okay, how about the Ravens coach John Harbaugh in the postseason? 12-6 against the spread as coach, and he's 10-3 on the road. I like those kind of stats. Harbaugh and his team going on the road up into Buffalo.
Okay,
it's going to be cold. Ravens are cool with that. I think Harbaugh is going to lead this thing to victory. It's probably going to go under. It might be a battle, like a warrior battle.
Yeah,
under kind of thing. And so I'm going to go here with the dog lock Baltimore to potentially win this game, but they'll definitely cover.
Yeah. Hey, you know where I stand? I agree on this. Fun fact here, Lamar Jackson has never played in the snow in his entire football career. So if it snows in Buffalo this weekend, that could be really interesting. It was projected to, now it's not. Who knows if it does, but that could be fun. He said he doesn't want to play in it, and why would you? Because no one actually likes playing in the snow other than, kids during Christmas. But it'll be interesting. And can we get the producers on the line or talk to someone about this? I don't know what's going on here, but are we just going to let Gary slip through the cracks that it's supposed to be 3 or more? I mean, he just gets off with this 2.5. I don't know who's making these slides now and giving him this free dog lock pick here, but I don't agree with it. I think this is completely unfair. I have to use that.
We got a limited number of games.
Okay, I'm just saying here. If you're gonna do what I do here, and you're gonna get to,
there's only 8 games to pick.
Can we talk to the producer? I don't know who's in the back there making all these spreadsheets for you, but I'm not letting you sneak through with that one. That's okay though.
Tell you the weather Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be snow showers and 33 degrees.
All right. So it'll be interesting. All right. We'll see if Lamar can withstand that snow. All right. Well, my dog lock, that's actually a dog lock here. I'm going with the Rams. Okay. No one has thought the Rams could do anything here. And now, don't get me wrong. Jared Goff is a horrible quarterback. Okay. He's just not good. I think his hands are smaller than mine. I actually think that's true.
I wouldn't typically laugh, but the guy cost me a fantasy game this year because I rode him one game and he killed me. So, I'm agreeing with you.
He's just not good. He's just not good. Okay, he can't seem to throw the ball in the right places. I think Sean McVay knows he's not good, and they get Akers back here. They have the number 1 defense. Aaron Rodgers has lost the last 3 times he's played the number 1 defense in the league. These guys are not to be messed with. Jalen Ramsey can lock up Devontae Adams. Aaron Donald will get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. Now, I think they pull off this win. Aaron Rodgers does, but it is close, okay? Just purely because the Rams can't put up the points that the Packers can. But the Rams are scary. They are scary, scary good. That defense is something else.
I wasn't scared until you said it. I mean, the fact that you picked him makes me scared, but I wasn't scared before we started talking about it.
I would not be surprised. And I told you all last week, go with Cleveland on this dog lock. I made a lot of money off of straight-up Cleveland bets and parlays, and I hit. So
course, we don't bet. Father son only sport. We don't bet here on the show, but
No,
but
we
hey,
never.
I'm going Green Bay
theoretical.
-7, man. I'm going Green Bay -7. So you and I are going to see it's all going down. T Money, the Rams and Green Bay
All
going down to
right,
see what's
all
up there.
right.
Let's go to the T Ross rant, sponsored by Help Me
Oh
Startup.
man.
We're talking about the college football playoff. Today's T Ross rant brought to you by Help Me Startup. Do you have a startup or new company idea? Why not get help from the experts at Help Me Startup? Try the easy to use startup tools and advice to help you get moving on your way toward investment and success. Learn more at helpmestartup.co. T. Ross is going to get you started here tonight.
So, I think the college football playoff needs to expand. Now, I know a lot of people think that why should they? The top 4 teams are probably the only ones that deserve to actually make the college football playoff and the national championship, right? North Carolina, the number 12 team in the nation, shouldn't have a chance at it if they lose 3 games. I agree with that. I'm mainly saying this for the overall health of college football moving forward. Now, not only will it make them a lot of money, it will make the sport more interesting, and it will find a legitimate national championship without any sort of bias. Okay? 17 of the last 21 college football playoff games have been won by 3 schools. 3 schools: Bama, OSU, and Clemson. 17 of the last 21 games. 14 out of the last 15 national championships all have been from the South. All right? We need to expand this. This needs to be more inclusive. Right now, it is SEC, and on top of that, it's Clemson, Bama, and Ohio State. That's it. There's no other teams being included in this. And if you want to look at the college football playoff as alone, that's all kids care about. These top recruits don't go to any other schools anymore. And that's where this all starts, is recruiting. None of these other schools can get to this spot because they know that these 5 to 7 teams are the only ones ever making the playoffs, and that's all that matters. All right, we need to expand. 14 teams. The top 2 to 4 get byes. We need that conference championships to matter, and those teams get higher seeds. We can make this work. There is scenarios where this works. But even when you look at recruiting, the top 7 teams right now: Bama, OSU, LSU, Georgia, Clemson, Oregon, Oklahoma. That right now is your recruiting classes. All those teams have made the college football playoff. It's not coincidental. The only teams getting the best recruits and making the college football playoffs are the same teams every year. There's no room for anyone else, and clearly the committee has bias against any one of those teams. Texas A&M couldn't get in. Cincinnati couldn't get in. Other teams can't get in because these teams have such a stronghold on this college football playoff, and anytime any team has a chance, they're not even given the benefit of the doubt. We need to expand to be more inclusive and help spread the wealth amongst college football. It's going to be the only way to grow the sport and continue to have success and make money in college football.
Well, I think you're making a good point there, and it's not a Ross v. Ross, so this is the T. Ross rant. So I think it's worth discussion. Yeah, we should
Yeah.
discuss different options here to see if we can expand this. And I got some ideas myself, but I like where you're pushing it.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't need to be 14. It can be 12. It could be 10 with a 2-team bye or something. I'm all for giving the top guys byes because no one wants to see an Alabama blowout, and they should get rewarded for having good seasons. But how fun would it be to host a playoff game at your, at home, in one of those stadiums? That'd be great. More inclusive, and it would be great for the sport. It really would. It would help grow, but I don't know if it's going to happen because, those top teams have such power over everyone else that
It's a 10-year deal with ESPN. I think we're 6 years in, 4 years left, kind of thing, left with this deal. Are they going to make more money? It's all money related. Can they make more money by doing
they
this?
definitely would.
And if they can figure that out, maybe they would do it. But it might not happen till the end of this 10-year deal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But hey, good points, man. Good points. I love it. Hey, why don't we build a daily fantasy team? Show these guys how to play. Showdown captain mode with a daily fantasy lineup. We're going to go into DraftKings. And I want to see if we can pull this off here and do a little DraftKings, pick a team
Okay.
and put it together. Team Money, I got to do this together. And so what I do is I pick a lineup. We will go to create a lineup, and we're going to pick what I call a captain's mode. Captain's mode mean this captain right here with this crown gets 1.5 points, and then the rest of the team
Very
is just
interesting.
these 5 flex spots. All right, so we're going to do the Kansas City Chiefs Browns game, and you can see if I sort here by position, you can see the DSTs, the kickers, quarterbacks. Let's assume I'm going to start off here and make my first pick here. Let's say Travis Kelce's our captain. He costs $15,000. Now, keep in mind we have $50,000 for our whole team. So we just spent 15.9 on Travis Kelce. So Team Money, let's try to pick our next 5 guys, put together
Okay.
a lineup here and save it. Who do you like here? You want to pick one of the defenses? I don't know if it's going to be a defensive game. It's supposed to be a high scoring game, so I don't know if the defenses are going to score many
No,
points.
I think the first guy I'm going to start out with here is Kareem Hunt. All right, he
We'll
had
go
a
to the running backs.
yep,
Okay, Kareem Hunt, $7,200. So
yep.
we'll add him on
I think he'll
for
be
your
yeah,
running back there. All right,
yeah.
so
I think he's going to be good value.
we got. I'm gonna go to look at Mahomes versus Mayfield. We got Mahomes at 12 grand. That's a lot of money. We got Baker, who's hot. I'm gonna put Baker in here as a quarterback. We don't have to pick quarterback. I'm just adding him in there. $9,800. We have $17,000 left. That's an average of 5,700 for the final 3 guys. What do you think?
Yeah. Why don't you scroll down to the wide receivers there? I'm going to go with Higgins. 7 targets last game from Baker, and really affordable here. Baker likes him a lot. He didn't find the end zone because it was all running backs and Jarvis Landry, but he has the opportunity to, and Baker really likes him, and he's good value at $5,000.
All right, yeah, I like that too. I mean, I'd love to put Tyreek Hill in here if we do that. Could we afford a kicker if we do that? I don't know if we could. We can't. If we, I'm just trying to think if we put Tyreek Hill, that would be great, but we may not be able to do that. Let's go with Jarvis Landry.
Okay.
We'll assume Baker's gonna have a good day. We got Rashad Higgins and Landry both in here. We got $3,700 left for the final roll. I'm gonna sort this by salary, so we can pick someone that's close to $3,700. What do you think?
All right. Well, it looks like Cody Parkey's the only guy at
Unless
that
you want to
price
go with a
point.
defense,
No, I wouldn't go defense here. I think it's going to be high scoring.
Cody
Uh,
Parkey.
yeah, I would go Cody Parkey, and it's probably going to be a couple field goals because I don't think the Browns are going to be able to move it as well. The Kansas City Chiefs have a solid defense, so it's going to be interesting. But
So here
I
we
think
go.
that's a
There's our
solid
team.
lineup.
All right, we got
Yeah.
a DFS lineup. It's a showdown game, just the Cleveland Cincinnati game. And we got Travis Kelce as our captain. So he has to go off for us to beat other contestants. And then we got these other 5 flex spots for showdown. And we'll save this lineup. We'll let you know next week how we did in this DFS play here on DraftKings. I hope you like that. That's called Showdown Captain Mode. And we just thought we'd have fun trying it out with you guys.
Yeah.
So let's go back in. We're going to check out what's up next here. We set the fantasy lineup. Let's go to the Ross v. Ross. Who is the biggest threat, Team Money, to the Chiefs repeating? These are our brackets. You can see the brackets up here. Sorry about that. That's my fault. And we got the Browns and the Chiefs up on the top there. You see the Ravens and the Bills. And over to the right, Rams, Packers, and Buccaneers, Saints. What do you think, Team Money? Who are you picking for biggest threat to the Chiefs?
Biggest threat to the Chiefs? No one. I don't think there's a threat. All right. The Bucks, they already beat. All right, they were up 10 with 4 to go and mailed it in. The Bills, they already crushed them. Beat them by the Bills scored 17 points. They're not worried about them. The Ravens, they already beat them. They beat them by 14. The Saints, they already beat them. All right, they were up 10 with 2 minutes left. Garbage time touchdown. Craziest part, they were all on the road. They beat all those teams on the road. Who the heck are they worried about? No one. I'm not worried about anyone for them. They had a bye. They took the week off before that. So maybe there might be rust in the beginning of the first playoff game. Oh, yeah, they were down because they were rusty to the Texans last year by 24 in the first half, and they came back and scored 28 in a quarter. I ain't worried about this team. I don't think anyone is a threat. Anyone. Who do you think, Gare?
Well,
Who do you
hey,
think?
I'll tell you who I think. I'll tell you who I think. But I agree with you. I mean, who obviously the Chiefs are the favorite to win it all. Okay, so Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They come out of last year. They beat San Francisco in the Super Bowl, and they really haven't really stopped back. They haven't stopped. They haven't shut down. They haven't
No.
lost a gear. They're still going, man. All the way since that Super Bowl, they've been the hottest team. Mahomes is probably going to win the MVP again, and they're on track to win the Super Bowl again and repeat. So this is on track to what you're saying. However, I'm looking at who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs to repeat. Okay, and first of all, they got a tough game against the Browns. The Browns are very hot. I think all the odds are against the Browns here, so I don't think it's going to be them. I don't think it's the NFC. I'm looking at the AFC over here because the NFC is going to weed themselves out. So who's the biggest threat to the Chiefs? I think comes out of that Ravens-Bills game. And you would think that the Bills, being the number 2 seed, is going to be their biggest threat. But if the Ravens go up there and beat Buffalo, they are peaking and hot. And watch out. I'm going to say the Ravens, man.
Interesting. Yeah, I would say if there was one, Ravens would scare me the most because they can control the ball so much with Lamar. They really can. But Lamar would have to go to Arrowhead, which I don't know. If there's snow, like I said, he's never played in. I don't know if they can keep up with Kansas City. Kansas City was up 17 and mailed it in the first half. All right. And I'm surprised no one said the Packers, but I don't think that defense can stop anything. The Packers would not be able to keep up. I think it would be a shootout, but that in the end, the Kansas City just unstoppable, and their defense is actually pretty good. Kansas City's defense has a really good D-line. They have Tyrann Mathieu. They have solid defense, and everyone's worried that they haven't beaten anyone by 40. Like, God forbid they're beating playoff teams by 7 instead of 22. I just think they haven't really needed to be challenged this year, and they're ready for the playoffs.
That's the thing that is their Achilles heel is they do not, put their throat on the neck and put people away. They
Yeah.
let people back in the game. And, Las Vegas beat them. And Las Vegas should not have beat them. They just don't have that killer instinct. I think that's their one issue. Maybe they'll solve that here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, gonna be interesting, but like I said, there's no threat. If they lose, it's because Patrick Mahomes throws like 3 picks or something. And even when he played Miami, they still won. So, I mean, I just don't see how they get beat. If he can throw 3 picks and still beat a good defense like Miami's, I don't see it. They're going to run through this. I think that they're just too good in every facet of the game.
Watch out for the Ravens, man. You're counting out my Baltimore East Coast fans out there. The Ravens are on fire.
All right.
And they're going after this thing. And it'll be interesting to see that Ravens-Buffalo game up there in Buffalo.
That'll be a great
Like, who's
one.
going to come out of that game?
That's going to be great.
Because, whoever comes out is going to be the story.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to be the Bills, but no, it's all of a sudden the Ravens got everybody's attention. Who's going to come out of that game? It looked like the AFC was going to be the Chiefs and nobody else when everything started at the beginning of the season. And now here they come.
Hey, speaking of that whole conference, too, Baker Mayfield's the oldest quarterback playing of the 4. Isn't that crazy? This guy's like 27. He's the oldest quarterback. That's insane. Crazy. Because that's so cool, the new regime, man. So it'll be interesting.
Wow. I look at my man Joe Burrow, what he's up against in that division. With the Browns now and the Ravens and Pittsburgh. And my man Joe Burrow has to go in and compete against those guys next year. Joe's supposed to start the first game of the year.
Fingers crossed, man.
Can Cincinnati bring it and play with these guys? Look at the Browns and Ravens are in the final 8.
We can't.
What a division that is.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's going downhill. They're going the wrong direction, but those other 2 are here to stay. So
don't count Pittsburgh out. Hey, let's go to the Woundwise Trivia of the week and finish this up. Just see how strong Team Money's been unbelievable at picking these Trivia of the Weeks that he doesn't even see before we get on the air, y'all. And we appreciate all you fans out there liking and subscribing and sharing our stuff, man. We love it. And part of it is because Team Money can make some good picks. I make a couple good picks myself. Don't get me wrong.
But every once in a while.
Hey, Woundwise Trivia of the Week. Which quarterback remaining in the playoffs is second behind TB12 in number of NFL playoff wins, and where do both of them rank on time team money?
Okay. Well, I know that it's between Rodgers and Breeze. Okay, I know that. All right, I'm gonna go Drew Brees here. All right, I think he's just gotten deeper in the playoffs more. Aaron Rodgers has gotten hurt a lot more. There were some tough years for the Saints there, but I'm gonna go Breeze. I'm
You're
gonna
going to say
go
Breeze is
the
second in playoff wins.
remaining. Yes.
And where do they both rank? What do you think?
Well, Tom Brady is far and away the number one. It is not even close. I'm pretty sure he has double the next person. He has eliminated more teams from the playoffs than the second person. I believe Joe Montana is number 2 with 16. He's eliminated 17.
Did you study my answer before?
No, I just know this. This
is crazy, man.
So
you got these facts in your head that I can't believe you got.
He's eliminated 17 different teams, and Joe Montana's only won 16 games. So that's Brady. I mean, the guy is unbelievable in every
That is
stat.
true.
So I know that. I'm going to go with Breeze as like 5th. Because Terry Bradshaw's won a shit ton. I can't remember.
Breeze not in the top 10.
Okay.
Breeze not. Here we go.
Here we go.
And it actually is Aaron Rodgers.
Dang it.
At number 10 and a tie. I didn't list the other 10 there, but Aaron Rodgers is tied with another guy at 10. And then at 12, Drew Brees is tied with someone there, and he has 9. So Aaron Rodgers has 10. Drew Brees has 9. Both of them have a championship. Look at this list here. Isn't this crazy? Number 1, Tom Brady, 31 wins. You're right. 74% win percentage. He has 6 titles. Joe Montana, you're right. 16. So you're right. 17 different teams Brady has beat in those 31 wins. And Joe Montana's only got 16 wins. You're right.
That's crazy.
But 4 championships for Montana. Look at Terry Bradshaw. Everybody sees Terry Bradshaw. When you watch the pregame, Terry Bradshaw tied for 3rd with 14 wins, 74% win percentage, 4 titles. And then you got Elway and Manning's also with 14 wins. And they're tied with that 3rd place spot, but they don't have as many championships.
Yeah.
And then way down at 10 is Aaron Rodgers, and 12 is Drew Brees.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was between the two. I just flipped a coin in my head and went Breeze. He's been more successful as of late in the playoffs, but it doesn't shock me. Aaron Rodgers is special, so it makes sense. But it'll be interesting if they both win this week.
Who's going to win this week?
I'm saying if Breeze and Rodgers win this week, that's a legacy game right there, man. That's for one of those two to go to the Super Bowl and try to separate themselves on the pantheon, because they're both right here, man. They're both kind of even on the pantheon of all-time quarterbacks. It's Breeze and, Breeze has the records. Rodgers has the MVPs. They both have one championship. Next week, they might play each other. They both win, and that's to go to the Super Bowl. So it'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of things that unfold here in the next week or two.
Definitely the story that NFC is all those quarterbacks over there that are legacy quarterbacks over there fighting it out in the NFC.
Yeah.
And the AFC has all those young guys you mentioned.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
We will see what happens. That's the Woundwise Trivia of the Week. Thank you for Woundwise IQ as we work our way to the finish here. Thanks for Woundwise IQ sponsoring our Trivia of the Week. And thank you to Help Me Startup for sponsoring that famous T. Ross rant.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to thank our sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring any of our upcoming shows, please reach out to me or Team Money. And if you like the show, press the like and subscribe button. We got some great news for you, Team Money. You want to prep us on next week and who we're going to see next week?
We're bringing in our not only league commissioner, great commissioner, but also the winner this year of our league, Brandon Seach, one of my good friends, grew up with me. G-Man knows him well. It's going to be interesting. We'll talk to him about all that and talk to him about the Browns and maybe some fantasy stuff. It'll be a fun week. I'm excited to bring him on.
Yeah, he's going to be great, and I want to get his tips for how he won this league that G-Man should have won. I don't know how he beat me. The guy did a great job as a general manager, took his team to the title, and I want to know what his secrets are. I'm going to ask him his secrets next week.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited to talk to him.
Hey, we love y'all. I hope you enjoy the games this weekend. We got double headers Saturday, Sunday. Team
Yeah,
Money and I
buddy.
are going to be watching. Hope our picks work out for you. Go get it. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, everybody. G-Man, peace out.
G-Man!